Hey guys, welcome. I had my mic off again. Welcome to our show. I'm Andrew Fazekas, your host for The Night Sky this week for April 29th, 2024. I hope you had a great weekend. Did you do some stargazing? Did you see stuff? I want to hear all about it. Put it in the comments where you're watching from and what your stargazing experience has been in the last few days. I'd love to hear all of that from my friends around the world, wherever you are watching from. So this week, again, we've got a series of things that are in the sky. And before I begin, I just want to mention, please do all the good stuff. If you like this video, you find some value in it, please give me a shout out, a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button. You don't want to miss out. Every week I post things that are interesting in the night sky regarding space news as well. So we'll have some really cool things in this week's episode as well. So just stay tuned, and I appreciate your support. So why don't we dive in right away to the planetarium program. Here we are. We've got our skies set up for Monday, April 29th. This is what it looks like. So first off, of course, if you've got clear skies towards the western horizon, what are you going to be able to see? Of course, Jupiter. Jupiter is this bright dot-like object, very low, kind of embedded in the glow of the sunset. And that is, in fact, we're in the last period of being able to see Jupiter in the evening skies. It's still quite visible, but it's low in the west, and it's going to bow out very soon because it's going to get lost in that glare of the sunset. So if you really want to get the chance to see Jupiter, now is pretty much the last shot you'll have at that. And so do look at that. Of course, if you've got the telescope handy, you will be able to see the moons of Jupiter as well. It's going to be a little bit tricky because of that sunset glow, but it's there beside them, and you'll be able to see the disk of Jupiter too. So check that out. That's kind of really neat to do as well. But if we kind of make it a little bit darker, the skies, you'll see also bowing out is the wintertime constellations. I've mentioned this before. Last chance basically to see these northern hemisphere wintertime, summertime constellations for those of you in the southern hemisphere. Last chance, as we're really, the constellations are really heading towards that horizon very, very quickly. There's Orion. Betelgeuse is still quite visible as an orange star, pinning down the west once the skies darken after sunset. That's something pretty easy to see. Also, don't forget you've got Sirius in the constellation Canis Major, still visible in the southwest. But limited window, because you can see I've got it set for 9:12 here. You can see local time, Eastern time, and then in an hour, boom, they're gone. And you can see here also Betelgeuse is really hugging the horizon by 10 o'clock. So your window for being able to see these objects, these celestial objects like Betelgeuse and Sirius, which are traditionally wintertime stars, it gets really, really much harder to see over the next few weeks. Now, if we turn our attention, what's happening in the western sky, you can see traditional, let me just get that off, traditional constellations that are representative of the springtime, summertime are coming into view. So if we go like around 10 o'clock at night, you've got Arcturus really pinning down the eastern skies, southeastern skies, late night. Arcturus, the lead star in the constellation Botus. Next to it is Virgo. Virgo is pinned down, the maiden is being pinned down by Spica, the brightest star. It's very distinctly blue, very nice contrast between Arcturus and Spica. These two stars just look so dramatically different with the naked eye. I really suggest trying to go outside and taking a look at that. It's really neat because Arcturus, let's see, just to confirm, 36 light years away. It's a yellow, orange, red giant star, and Spica is a star that is 250 light years away, so much farther than Arcturus, but almost the same brightness, and just a little bit fainter as Spica than Arcturus, but still both of them competing in brightness, easy to see, even if you have light polluted skies where you are. This is something that you can check it out. Oh, I've got Lucana joining us from cloudy Chicago. So nice of you to join. Make sure you guys put in where you're watching in the comments. I'd love to hear. And also, if you've had some clear skies to do any stargazing where you are. I've had some pretty cloudy skies the last few days here in Montreal. So hoping that we'll get some clearing skies this week to do some stuff that I can post for you guys. I love doing that. We've got Gopa from New Jersey. Welcome. Great of you to join our broadcast today. And here we are. We've got the skies again, Arcturus, Spica. And if we go a little bit later, you'll see that you'll have the Spica Arcturus pair really dominate the high southern southwestern skies. Let's not forget also Leo the Lion is still up there. It's a traditional springtime constellation. We're still in the spring season, of course, really actually in the center of it. And so Leo is a great constellation to explore for deep sky objects. So when I mention deep sky objects, we're talking about things that are beyond the solar system. So we're talking about nebula, star clusters, things like galaxies. And Leo is one of those prime areas to hunt for galaxies. So here I'm just going to show you where it is. Regulus marks the heart of the lion, Leo the lion. And if you look carefully, what's really neat about Leo is that there's this giant backwards question mark that marks the head of the Leo, the lion. So this is something you should look out for when trying to track down the Leo constellation. It's an easy formation of stars. It's very eye-catching because it's distinctive in its curvature of bright naked eye stars. The brightest, of course, is Regulus. Regulus is about 79 light years away. It's a beautiful bluish white star. Shown here on Sky Safari, my Sky Safari Pro by Simulation Curriculum. I love using this software from my friends at Sky Safari. And here, there is this backwards question mark that marks Leo the lion. And so why I'm bringing this up is because you can see deep sky objects there. Now, if I put this setting here to deep sky, I go to best known, everything including wide field, close this up, you'll see the little ovals. You see these little ovals that are marked off in the chest and the back feet of the lion? These are actual galaxies out in the universe beyond the Milky Way. And it's I don't know, I just absolutely love it. It blows my mind that we can see this. Now, here you can see there's a trio of galaxies. They're designated M105, M96, M95. These are very, very familiar targets for backyard telescope users. So people in the hobby of astronomy that have telescopes, these are some of those objects that they would look for. And they're marked by the M classification, which stands for Messier. This was a catalog of over 110 objects that were found and described by an astronomer, French astronomer in the 1700s. He was actually a comet hunter, and he was looking in his search for comets. He found these faint fuzzy objects through his telescopes, these little fuzzy cotton balls. And he marked them off because he knew that they weren't comets, but they were other beautiful targets. And even today, centuries later, they remain some of the most favorite, cherished objects for backyard telescope users. And I'm going to just zoom in here so you can see what we're talking about. So these are galaxies, literally other island universes in interstellar space. Here we can see beyond our own Milky Way, these are other galaxies. There's M95. This is a beautiful spiral galaxy that is 32 million light years away. Isn't that just gorgeous? That's a photograph through a backyard telescope. You can see the spiral arms here, all going off in different directions. And you see these knots. You see these little kind of knots of gas and dust. They're actually thousands of stars, a clustering of thousands and thousands of stars that make up these beautiful spiral arms. And there's the hub, the central hub of this beautiful galaxy. It sits 32 million light years from Earth. And remember, where are we? We're on the belly of the beautiful Leo constellation, Leo the Lion. Zooming back, here's another one nearby. Again, these are telescope objects. You could probably pick them out with even binoculars as little funny, fuzzy cotton balls. M96, also another spiral galaxy in Leo the Lion. It is also 32 million light years away. Look at those spiral arms. Just absolutely gorgeous. Some of these photographs that backyard astronomers are taking. And if we move a little bit farther, look at this. M105 is another bright galaxy, but it's joined by two other. It's a triplet. It's a beautiful triplet of galaxies. M105, there's another one here and here. If we just zoom in like this, 37 light years away. Look at these three galaxies huddled into one view. Imagine being able to see that through a backyard telescope. It is a beautiful sight, I have to tell you. And it's something that's a favorite for backyard astronomers, all in the belly of Leo the Lion. Something you guys should really take a look at when trying to see Leo the Lion. Now, there is another object I want to look for, and that is an actual asteroid called Vesta. It's currently making, you can see this is what it looks like through a spacecraft. This was photographed by the Dawn spacecraft in September of 2012. This is what it looks like. It's the brightest asteroid visible in the night sky, and it's the third largest asteroid in the entire asteroid belt. Remember, the asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. And sometimes these asteroids, specifically this large one, Vesta, is visible even through binoculars. It's not a very easy object to tell from a little old faint star, but if you watch it over hours and days, it appears to move in the background of stars. And if I center it, I'll show you where it is. Earlier in the evening this week, it's in the constellation Gemini. So this is a challenge for binocular and telescope viewers. In the constellation Gemini, Castor and Pollux, the two brightest stars in Gemini, are going to be low in the western horizon earlier in the evening. If we just go like that, there you can see. And there is Vesta next to a star in the navel region of Castor, the Gemini twin Castor. And you can see it's also called the Epsilon Gemini, this, or Mebzuta. Ooh, that's a hard one to pronounce, but it's a naked eye star. It's let's see, it's third magnitude, and and basically Vesta, the asteroid. Let's get it again. Let me get it to show up for you. And there we are. It's going to be a half a degree away from Mebzuta, this bright star, this third magnitude. It's visible to the naked eye. And remember, Vesta is not. It's visible through binoculars. It's 8.33 magnitude. But basically, if I push this into Thursday, look at this. Do you see Vesta is getting closer? By Wednesday, Thursday. So Wednesday night, Thursday night, look for Vesta next to this star in the constellation Gemini. Isn't that the coolest thing, to be able to see an asteroid? So because it moves fairly slowly, it's best to maybe do a drawing through a telescope and mark off where where you think Vesta is, where the stars are, and see the movement. But you will definitely see this movement over the course of a few hours, definitely over the course of a couple of days, one night. Because look at this. This is where it is Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Vesta. the third largest asteroid in the asteroid belt. It's so large that NASA estimates that it has about 9% of all the mass that makes up the entire asteroid belt. Isn't that amazing? That's in Vesta. So this is a really cool object. I'd love for you to try it. It is a more advanced thing to be able to view, but give it a try. If you've got binoculars or you have telescopes, you have the patience. This is something really cool. It's a great opportunity because Vesta is quite bright at 8.3 magnitude. It's a binocular object, very easy little small telescope object, and it makes it even easier to find thanks to this bright star, this third magnitude star in the navel region of Gemini. So I'm going to basically put a star chart for this for you guys so you can see it nicely. And since we're already talking towards the end of the week, I have to mention there's a small meteor shower called the Eta Aquarids. And we're going to put that in here. It's a small meteor shower. Its claim to fame is not how amazingly bright it is, and how many there are. It's heritage. And it has to do with the heritage of when where the parent object is in the solar system. And the parent object is Halley's Comet. And it's really interesting. The fact that Halley's Comet is still far away from Earth, it's deposited many bits and pieces along its orbit for thousands of years as it's looping around the sun. And those little objects that have been shed off of Halley's Comet, the famous comet, produce a beautiful meteor shower for us called the Eta Aquarids. Now, we're talking about 10 to 20 shooting stars per hour visible. And the best time to see it, you can see I'm going to show you, is going to be this Friday and Saturday, early morning. You can see early morning is best time to see it. It's going to be visible. The radiant of the shower is embedded in the constellations that Eta Aquarids are named after, and that's the Aquarius constellation, the zodiacal constellation Aquarius. And that rises in the east early morning. So around 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning would be the best time to catch this shooting star show. And if you face towards the east, you'll also be able to see a thin crescent moon rising. Isn't this absolutely beautiful? So if it gets brighter and you want to stay up a little bit longer to see, the moon and Saturn and Mars are going to be in a beautiful lineup with a crescent moon. Look at that crescent moon. And then you have this beautiful meteor shower as well. It's a great combination of different types of celestial events happening at the same time. So you get to view a beautiful crescent moon. You get to look at the ringed world Saturn through maybe your small telescope. And then you also have Mars, the red planet, is going to be very distinctly orangey color, red-orange. It's the iron oxide dust that covers Mars. That color you can see with the naked eye even. It's really impressive. And then you have the Eta Aquarid meteor shower. So a great way to end the week, I think. I'm going to post sky charts for all of this. Now, of course, if you are interested in looking at more things, I invite you to check out my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. It is fantastic. Thanks to you. It is a bestseller. Still, after the few years, it was published in 2019, and it's still an amazing resource, I think, for all of you. I'm selling dedicated signed copies on my website, so I invite you to check it out on thenightskyguide.com, and I can send you a signed dedicated copy wherever you are around the world. Also, I have to mention before leaving, very interesting. Let's go over here. We've got a very interesting press release put out by NASA. I got to put this out for you guys, and you have to see this. It's really impressive. It's an art, and I'm going to post this on my website too. It's a new picture by the James Webb Space Telescope. It's of the Horsehead Nebula. I don't know if you guys know about the Horsehead Nebula, but it is one of those targets. It's in the Orion constellation, and this is where what the Orion Nebula looks like. It's a dark nebula that's silhouetted against a background of lit up gas, excited gas, basically. It's kind of like a neon sign that's the electrons are excited in an excited state and it glows. And then you have this dark nebula in the front, happens to be in the shape of a horse head. Now, this picture over here is what you would normally see even through a picture from a backyard telescope would show you this. This center picture over here is what the Hubble Space Telescope has shown of the horse head. You can see there with the neck of the horse, the head of the horse right here. And this picture is what the James Webb Space Telescope took of this part right here. You see the square here? This is the enlarged picture. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to all the images here. And this is a really amazing picture right here. I'm going to enlarge it and see if I can zoom in on it. There we go. So here is the entire picture. And there's this bright star. The nebula, let me see if I close it. The nebula you can see is down here, right? You see this bright star up here? And you see all these little dots? Okay, now I'm going to zoom in above that nebula. That's the top of the head down here, the top of the Horsehead Nebula, right? Look at all these little things. You see all these little dots? All these little dots are actually galaxies. These are all galaxies farther away in the background. The Horsehead Nebula is only a few thousand light years away from us. But those galaxies are literally tens, if not hundreds of millions of light years away in the universe. They just happen to be in the background of this picture. And the James Webb Space Telescope is so powerful that it not only sees amazing detail in the Horsehead Nebula, as you can see here, right? All that detail in the head of the nebula. Look at all those little galaxies far away. It just boggles the mind. It's something that's just so powerful to think about, I think. It's amazing. And I'm going to put a link to all of this so that you can explore it yourself. It blew my mind when I saw this morning, when I got this in my inbox from the James Webb team, thinking about like, okay, I'm so familiar with the Horsehead Nebula. It's one of my favorite targets. I photographed it, and James Webb is just so powerful that it can see far into the universe and see other islands of stars like this. It's absolutely brilliant, and I want to share that with you. So do check that out. Hey, listen, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. I wish you all the health and happiness for the week. I'll be posting all this stuff on my timeline, so stay tuned. I love hearing from you guys, sharing your photos as well. And I'll hope to see you on the next video, of course. And until then, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye, guys.